morning and welcome to this week's Wednesday with Worbes. I'm here in the boardroom at the Administrative Center, and as you can see, there's lots going on here. This is the time of year that we get audited by a firm in Weatherford. It's a very in-depth audit. It takes 3 to 4 days, and they have 4 to 5 people here every single day going through our paperwork. It's very, very intense, and I'm going to talk just a little bit about it, so maybe you'll have a general knowledge of why we ask you to do certain things. One of the people that's here works on personnel. They follow the process of when we hire somebody, how we pay them, their insurance, every single thing about that particular employee. They pick certain employees by random and make sure that we are paying their taxes correctly, their teacher retirement correctly, all the things about their background check, everything about each individual employee. Also, there's a person in charge of activity accounts. Activity accounts are one of the hardest things to audit because there's so many different people that have activity accounts, and we've talked to the activity account holders at the beginning of each school year and at the end of each school year, and what they do is they follow the process. They see when something is board approved and make sure that all the paperwork is in place, that the purchase orders all have been signed correctly, that the receipts have been signed correctly, and then they sometimes go and look for the item that was purchased. If it's a large item, they follow it from when it was board approved to where that item is in the district to make sure it's still here in the district. They've been doing that this week. They also go through different receipt books to make sure that the money is received correctly and deposited on the right day. Very in-depth, and so far so good. Also, they work on how we deposit our district money. They see how the money comes in, make sure that we're spending the money correctly. Some money can be federal money has to be spent on certain things, and they make sure that we're doing that correct. I'm here in Penny Bush's office, and she is our new business manager, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the purpose of our annual audit that we have.
Good morning. We do this audit every year. It's required by state law. It's an internal audit. It's for them to find better ways for us to do our processes. That's why we always request signatures on everything. They, as Mr. Worbes has said, they follow that purchase order from beginning all the way through to the inventory. And so that's why we do it. And they present a report to the Board of Education. That's called the final audit, and then that is then turned into the State Department, and that goes on our record. So we really appreciate our auditors. They do a good job. They're very thorough, and you know, so if we come back to you and ask you to do things differently, there's a reason. And we really do want to say thank you to all of our employees, because of you, we have very few audit errors. You know, y'all have been very good to help us follow the rules, and as long as we all follow the rules, we'll get through another audit without too many issues. So thanks again.
In addition to our financial audit, we're lucky enough to have the child nutrition auditors here this week as well. So we're being audited both areas the same week. And what they do is they go through every single menu to make sure that every item is compliant. They go through where we buy our items to make sure that we're buying the correct items, and they follow it to where it goes into each one of the sites and to make sure that it's served at the menus. In addition to all the paperwork, they have also made site visits. You may have seen them at your site. They watch to make sure that our cafeteria staff are counting the children correctly, making sure that all the correct items are put on each individual tray, make sure that the students are using the share tables correctly. They also have visited some sites to watch the process of breakfast in the classroom to make sure that we are compliant and following all the guidelines and rules for breakfast in the classroom. I'm here in Sabina Garrett's office, and she's going to kind of explain the process of the audit that we're going through, and she is our child nutrition director. So Sabina, if you just tell us a little bit about the audit that's going on this week.
Thank you. Good morning. Our audit occurs every 3 years, and this is a requirement underneath the child nutrition program, and this is from the state level, and it ensures that we follow USDA standards that goes along with the Hungry Healthy Free Kids Act across the states. Some of the key components that we look at is our free and reduced meal application process. We ensure civil rights compliance and non-discrimination across the district. And they look in depth at our rotational menus to ensure that we have nutrient requirements, our calories, our sat fat, our sodium. We've worked very hard on creating rotational menus. That's new this year. And we have a staff of about 30 members in the child nutrition program, and they work very, very hard to ensure this compliance and to feed the students and to get them to eat, give them good meals to put in their bellies. We are very, very thankful for the school staff who've implemented the many programs such as the fresh fruit and vegetable program we pushed to the classroom, as well as the breakfast in the classroom program at 5 schools. And even at the high school, we have a second chance breakfast where they get breakfast in the hallway. So those high school students are able to eat a little bit later in the morning. So we're meeting our goals of feeding the kids, and we're just looking for new opportunities all the time. So we're very appreciative of our child nutrition staff, as well as the school staff, the certified and the support staff. They're all very important to us.
Well, I just wanted to give everyone a behind-the-scenes look at how the audit process works. So hopefully you have a little bit better understanding of how the different audits work here in Altus Public Schools. Also, I'd like to thank all the employees down here at the administration building. It's been a stressful week for them. Lots of questions having to be answered and documents having to be looked up and refiled. So thank you for all your hard work in making it a smooth audit process. One other thing I'd like to share with everyone today is always trying to keep the community as involved with Altus Public Schools as possible, and we're talking about the unity of Altus and the unity of Altus Public Schools with the base, and a new program that we're starting. We've had little posters made up that will be hung at all the sites, and as many different businesses as want to hang them. But it's how are we doing, and we're wanting communication from people in the community. And so we've had these posters made up, and we're excited about getting them out and getting some feedback from community members. And as always, may God continue to bless Altus Public Schools.